Imagine a world where brokering a ceasefire that frees dozens of hostages from a 2-year nightmare gets you snubbed for the Nobel Peace Prize, while a dissident hiding from her own government takes the crown. What if the real scandal isn't the winner, but the invisible biases deciding who even gets considered? That's the bombshell hitting Washington today. The Norwegian Nobel Committee just awarded the 2025 Peace Prize to Venezuelan opposition leader María Corina Machado, praising her as a tireless champion for unifying dissidents against Nicolas Maduro's iron-fisted regime. She's the first Venezuelan to snag this honor, celebrated for keeping democracy's flame alive amid blackouts, rigged elections, and threats that forced her into hiding. The committee calls it a nod to courageous defenders of freedom, a feel-good story that's got the UN cheering and Maduro fuming. But hold on, didn't President Trump just drop a historic bombshell this week? His 20-point peace plan, hammered out in Egypt with Qatar, Turkey, and the US, convinced Israel and Hamas to greenlight Phase 1, a full ceasefire, the release of all 48 remaining hostages, including about 20 believed alive, by Monday or Tuesday, and 2,000 Palestinian prisoners walking free. Israeli troops pulling back from 70% of Gaza, aid flooding in, schools reopening for 700,000 kids. Families in Tel Aviv are dancing in Hostage Square. Palestinians in Khan Yunis are hugging strangers. Trump himself posted videos of the celebrations on Truth Social, calling it a momentous breakthrough no one thought possible. And yet, the White House is firing back hard. Spokesperson Stephen Chung blasted the Nobel folks on X. President Trump will keep making peace deals, ending wars, saving lives. He's got the heart of a humanitarian who moves mountains with sheer will. The committee? They just prove they place politics over peace. Trump's been nominated over a dozen times before, from Abraham Accords to halting 7 conflicts. But this Gaza deal? It came too late for the 2025 cutoff, technically honoring 2024 feats, or so they say. But here's the twist you won't hear on the evening news. What if the real game isn't timing? It's a quiet, elite grudge. Think about it. Trump's plan demands Hamas disarm and dissolve, rebuilds Gaza without forced expulsions, and ropes in wealthy nations for the cash. No US boots on the ground. It's pragmatic, results-driven peace, the kind that skips the endless UN resolutions and just gets hostages home. Yet the Nobel crew, stacked with Norwegian parliament picks who've snubbed US leaders before, remember Obama's quick win versus the endless Middle East mess, seems allergic to American disruptors. Why honor a lone voice in Venezuela's shadows when a sitting president just engineered a truce that's already saving lives? Is it bias against America First realpolitik, or fear that rewarding Trump's style might validate outsiders crashing the diplomacy club? Dig deeper, and the fallout gets intriguing. For Venezuela, Machado's win shields her from arrest. Maduro's already mocking her as a ghost, and could spark protests that pressure his crumbling regime toward fair elections. The opposition swears they won last year. But overlooked? It spotlights how US sanctions under Trump have starved Maduro's oil empire, indirectly fueling Machado's rise. Yet the prize ignores that messy interdependence. On Gaza, the deal's fragile. Hamas might drag feet on bodies of the 28 dead hostages, or far-right Israeli ministers could torpedo Phase 2. Trump's eyeing a trip to Egypt for the signing, vowing US involvement to keep the peace. If it holds, 2026's prize looks locked for him, proving the committee's snub wasn't a dismissal, but a delay. So is this politics trumping peace, or a deliberate pivot to unsung heroes over headline grabbers? One thing's clear. In a world craving real results, today's Nobel feels like yesterday's news. What overlooked angle changes everything for you? Drop it in the comments, we're just getting started.